And we are back. Welcome to Wednesday's predictions video for the Champions League. After a night where Raheem said it in the comments himself, expect the unexpected. Shakhtar Donetsk beating Barcelona, AC Milan turning around their poor run of form to get a massive win against PSG, and there were a couple of other shocks last night as well. But that is the joy of doing these predictions videos, especially when it comes to the European nights, because on any given day, any European team is capable of beating another in this competition. But we have got 8 more fixtures for you this evening to round off match day 4 in the Champions League. So if you haven't done so already, please do consider dropping a like on this video and subscribing to the channel if you are new around here. We've got our very fun Europa video tomorrow before we do the Premier League predictions once again on Friday. Let's get into all of tonight's action. And we kick things off in Group A with Bayern Munich taking on Galatasaray. Now, of course, Bayern Munich won the reverse fixture a couple of weeks ago, and more impressively, they beat Borussia Dortmund 4-0 away at the weekend, with Harry Kane scoring yet another hat-trick. Galatasaray, on the other hand, bounced back from their defeat to Bayern Munich with some more wins in the Turkish league, so they're going to be confident. They're going to feel like they're going to have to do everything in their power to get a result in this one, because they're going to be hoping that there's going to be a draw in the other game this evening. I just think that Bayern Munich are far too strong for Galatasaray, as well as they've played, as well as the players that Galatasaray have. I just think on current form, style of play, this is going to be Bayern Munich's game to win, and I'm going to go for 4-1 to Bayern Munich. I still think Galatasaray score. I think they're capable of breaking down the Bayern defence, but I just don't think they're capable of stopping a very, very informed Bayern Munich team at the moment. The other game in Group A is Copenhagen against Manchester United. And again, this is a really tough one for me as a Manchester United fan, because I'm still not there yet. Yes, we beat Fulham at the weekend in a game where Fulham probably had the better chances, and the goal was in the 91st minute after about 4 deflections, 2 rebounds, and Leno still should have saved it. So my confidence still isn't there. We got easily beaten by Newcastle, easily beaten by Manchester City. We should have drawn with Copenhagen at Old Trafford if it wasn't for Onana making a save. And off the back of that, Copenhagen have been scoring goals for fun in their last few domestic games. So I have to sit here and think that Copenhagen are going to score at some point tonight. And I also think that I can't really see Manchester United scoring more than 1 goal themselves, if they even score at all. So for me, the only sort of likely scorelines for tonight are either 0-0, 1-1, or 1-0 to either of the sides. So I'm going to go for 1-1. I hope tonight is the night where Manchester United get it all together and we can just get a win, because we should be beating Copenhagen, but I'm still not there yet. Maybe if we win tonight, we can have a little bit of a rethink before the weekend's game against Luton, but I'm just not there yet. On to Group B, and we start with Arsenal taking on Sevilla. Now, this was a 2-1 win to Arsenal, as predicted correctly by me 2 weeks ago. We go into this game off the back of Arsenal's disappointing defeat to Newcastle, with all the controversy surrounding that one. And of course, we then have Sevilla, who still aren't really performing that great, especially away from home. Their away record is absolutely atrocious. And as we've just said, Arsenal did win the reverse fixture in Seville. So I'm going to go for an Arsenal win once again. And this time, rather than 2-1, I'm going to go for 2-0. The other game, it sees PSV taking on Lens. Now, this is a very interesting one, because again, I like to look at all the facts and figures going into these games, and both of these sides are undefeated in their last 9 games. So that's a pretty interesting stat. However, Lens have not scored away from home in their last 2 games. So that just puts a little bit of an edge onto it. It means that Lens are good at getting 0-0 draws away from home. Whether or not that's going to be enough for them this evening in the context of the entire group, I'm not sure. I also think PSV, especially at home, are very good at scoring goals. So I just think PSV are going to edge it. My thought process is that PSV will score, Lens will then come out, and then PSV hit them again. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to PSV. But who knows? Lens might be capable of pulling off another 0-0 draw here. We shall see. On to Group C, and the first of the 2 early kickoffs this evening sees Napoli taking on Union Berlin. And I've got some cracking stats regarding Union Berlin. They have lost their last 12 games. They have not scored in their last 5. That's mental. And they also haven't kept a clean sheet in their last 14. So even the 2 games that they got a result in prior to these 12 consecutive defeats, they're still conceding goals. It's just been an absolute mess for Union this season after what was an incredible season in the Bundesliga last season. I'm obviously going for a Napoli win, and I'm going to go with what the form guide suggests, which is Napoli will score and Union will not, and I'm going to go for 3-0 to Napoli, which I believe is what I went for in the reverse fixture as well. The later game in Group C sees Real Madrid taking on Sporting Braga, and oh no, Jude Bellingham might be injured for Real Madrid. What are Real Madrid going to do without the best player in world football at the moment? I think they're still going to win, right? I mean, if they don't win this game, that speaks massively to how reliant Real Madrid are on Jude Bellingham rather than what it would be an impressive performance from Braga, but I just don't think it's going to make too much difference. Bellingham might even be fit for all we know. It looked like a small shoulder injury, so he might even play. I think regardless, Real Madrid take this one pretty comfortably. I still think Braga will score. Braga score a lot of goals, both domestically and in Europe, so I think Braga will still score a goal, but I think Real Madrid are going to be far too strong the other way, especially at home, and I'm going to go for 4-1 to Real. On to Group D then, and we start off with the other early kickoff this evening, which is between Real Sociedad and Benfica, with the referee being Championship's Anthony Taylor after his demotion from the Premier League after last weekend. But he still gets to referee in the Champions League, so fair play to him. A Championship ref in the Champions League, you absolutely love to see it. Anyway, like I say, Real Sociedad against Benfica, and look, Sociedad are just that team that doesn't concede goals and nicks wins. Their last 3 wins have all been by 1-0, and I expect that to be the case again tonight. I don't really see Benfica causing them too many problems defensively. Yes, Barcelona did beat them at the weekend, but again, that was a 1-0 defeat as well. So they're very, very solid. They pick their moments, and they do tend to score when it matters. So I'm going to go for 1-0 to Real Sociedad once again. But who knows? Maybe tonight is Benfica's night. I just don't really see it happening. And then finally, it is Salzburg against Inter Milan. A repeat, of course, of the game 2 weeks ago that ended in a 2-1 win to Inter. Salzburg are still playing some very good football, but Inter Milan, again, I just think they're too strong. As much as I would like to see Salzburg pull off a result tonight, I think Inter Milan are a lot better than people give them credit for, and obviously they got to the Champions League final last year as well. I think they're going to take it again tonight. I'm going to go for a repeat of the scoreline from 2 weeks ago, which is another 2-1 win for Inter. Thank you very much for watching once again. As always, let me know all of your thoughts down in the comments section below. I will be back tomorrow morning with all of my Europa League and Europa Conference League predictions. I will see you then.